let's turn the microphones on, and a very good evening to you. Welcome to the regular Bedminster Township Committee meeting for January 19th, 2016. We'll call the meeting to order. We have 4 of the 5 members, so we have a quorum for tonight. Mr. Olson is absent. Can I get the Open Public Meetings Act statement?
Yes, sir. Adequate notice of this meeting of the Township Committee was sent to the Courier News in Somerville, News in Bernardsville, to all subscribers, and also posted here at the Township Municipal Building as of January 14th, 2016.
I'll ask you all to join in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we have a lot of minutes to review. We had our December 21st regular meeting, our December 21st executive session. We had our very brief end-of-year budget, or end-of-year bill paying meeting on the 28th of December. We had a reorganization meeting from January the 4th, the Betty Merck dinner. And we had our budget work session, open and executive sessions from January the 11th. Does anybody have anything to add or questions or comments on the minutes? And if not, I'll take a motion.
So moved, Mayor.
Second that motion, Mayor.
All right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Permits and raffles. We have a lot of them tonight. A social fair permit for New Jersey Club Managers Association, January the 26th, 2016, 3 to 5 p.m., Fiddler's Elbow Country Club. We have a social fair permit for the Somerset Hills Education Foundation, March the 12th, 2016, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the United States Equestrian Team. It's to see Chef in Bedminster. Raffle license for the Pottersville Fire Company, July the 30th, 2016, 8 p.m., 8 Hacklebarney Road, Pottersville. That's an off-premise 50-50. Also a raffle license for Pottersville Fire Company, July 30th, 8 p.m., 8 Hacklebarney Road, and off-premise merchandise. A raffle license for the Bedminster Township PTO, April 2016, 7 to 10:30 p.m., Trump National, an off-premise 50-50 associated with Spring Fling, as well as raffle license Bedminster PTO, April 8th, 7 to 10:30, Trump National, and off-premise merchandise. Any questions or comments? If not, I'll take a motion.
Make a motion to approve. I'll second that.
Again, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Public comments, twice every meeting. We open up the microphone and right in front of us to any member of the public that wishes to comment. Just come to the microphone, state your name and your address. We'll move on to our monthly reports from our subcommittee chair. We'll start, as we do always, with Mr. Payne.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. Just very briefly, he and I, about 2 weeks ago, went over to start the year at one of the first sessions of the court. And I just wanted to report back. I mean, we're very fortunate with the professionals that we have in our new joint court. And especially, I want to talk about our judge. Very efficient, was moving the docket along. Our new prosecutor, Maswinder, looked like he had the process well under control. It was a fairly busy docket that night. But one thing I wanted to comment on, this is after Judy left, I stayed a little longer. Just the way there was one particular matter and the way that the judge handled it, I thought was pretty extraordinary. It was an individual who was there for their 4th time driving on the suspended license. So that was a mandatory jail sentence, which the judge had to impose, and the individual was taken immediately after, to the county jail. But the way that she handled it, with in allowing the person to maintain some dignity and respect, and how she did it in probably the best manner possible, which was obviously very difficult for this individual to have to, go off jail for 30 days. I just thought was pretty remarkable. She dispensed justice. She was a good jurist, but she was a human being in the process too, and I want to go on the record and commend her for that.
Well, we will have more on our shared court in the resolution section, and maybe even before that. All righty.
That's it, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Mr. Jacobs.
Mayor, subcommittee, we had a meeting of the Land Use Board, and at that meeting, Lance Bosser agreed to accept as chair of the Land Use Board, and Carol Cutshall accepted the position as vice chair. So we're pleased to have that leadership of the Land Use Board. There's really no other proceedings at the Land Use Board. And Mayor, I'll leave it to you if you want to talk about the meeting we had at AT&T. If we can talk about it now or save it for business.
Well, we can talk. Just Mr. Jacob and I, along with members of our Freeholders Board, as well as Somerset County Business Partnership, just had a rather informal meeting with Chief Executive over at the complex AT&T here in Bedminster, and it was mostly just a back and forth conversation about the business climate, AT&T's climate in town, and one of the comments that made that was, I don't think directed specifically us, but more generally speaking, he said, local governments or state governments are very good at working with business to bring you in, not as good at talking to you after you're there to see if things are still going well. So
Well, that certainly was directed as a compliment to us for going to them as someone who is in Bedminster, and certainly they indicated that they're staying for the next several years. But he was certainly appreciative that the township was reaching out to him to find out if there's anything that AT&T is looking for from the township, and how we can all work together to ensure that they have a quality stay in Bedminster.
and a lengthy one, hopefully.
And a lengthy one.
All right.
So, we can go into those details a little bit later, or and it's not just a one-off conversation. We're certainly going to be having additional discussions with AT&T through the county and the Somerset County Business Partnership to further those discussions and further any interest that AT&T has from the township. So this will be a continuing discussion, and hopefully we'll be reporting back next several months about this.
It isn't just simply an initiative on our part, although we've been talking about it and have been interested in it for quite a while. I do commend Mike Kerwin and the business partnership. This has been something that's been on their radar for quite a while, and they are working diligently to try to make sure that Somerset County remains as competitive as possible, regionally as well as statewide, to be a place where large and small businesses want to reside and grow. So, no, that was a fruitful meeting.
And then it'll eventually be up to us working with the county to put together some sort of plan that's going to promote those businesses in town, centered around the AT&T complex and the surrounding neighborhoods in Bedminster. So it's going to be an ongoing effort. And that's it.
Ms. Tucci?
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor Parker and I attempted to attend our first open space meeting. Unfortunately, due to some scheduling issues, we did not quite have a quorum, but we swore in our newest member of open space. The first meeting of the Historic Preservation Commission is this Thursday at 6 o'clock, not 7.
Yep.
And we'll have that. And that's really all I have to report. We haven't had any meetings yet of our committee.
Tomorrow is the big night. We have, library and environmental, and then Thursday is historic preservation and Board of Health, I believe.
Yep, we're back from the holiday season.
Yep. All right, I don't have anything more to add. An administrator's report.
Yes, sir. Budget meetings have begun. The meetings have been published as required. And our next meeting is going to be next Monday, January 25th, 7 o'clock, here in Conference Room A. We will be primarily focused on our capital budget and Far Hills Bedminster Fire Company. and Pottersville Fire Company will both be present to discuss their needs for our capital budget. So that's our next work session. January 25th in the morning, 10:30, here also conference room A, we're going to have a follow-up meeting for the Rattlesnake Bridge Road bridge closure over I-78. I'm currently collecting comments from the interested parties as to their preferences with the closure of the bridge, dates, and plans. So we'll have that ready for that meeting. And just a quick report on the shared municipal court expansion to Bernardsville. We've been meeting to get that done. It is on our agenda tonight for the resolution to approve the agreement. PPAC did so the other night. No, Bernardsville did so the other night. PPAC plans to do it next week. We currently are reviewing the security plan and some other things that we need to submit down to Somerville for review. So we're finalizing them now. So.
And as Mr. Payne mentioned, all the players are in place. So even though we have a resolution tonight, we do have a shared court, as we have with PPAC and Gladstone. The goal is to finalize bringing Bernardsville into that shared court, but all three towns have identified the exact same professionals. So even though we were hoping to get everything rolling on the 1st of January, as you said, Judge Ender is also the prosecutor this year, and we're glad to have him on board. And so all the players are in the right place. I guess they have had to hold a couple court sessions in Bernardsville this month just to continue until we are all official.
Right.
And
I'm also happy to report, since we're talking about the court, we're getting ready for doing our annual financial statement. By the end of this month, our auditors are coming in later this week to finalize our reports. So I was going over with the CFO today, going over some of the revenues, and preliminary reports, although not final at this point, show that the court, for the first time in quite a while, actually paid for itself this year. So the revenues were up to a point where they're paying for not only the costs of the court, but the court officers, the prosecutor, the public defender, the revenue that, which is how it's supposed to work. The revenues from the court are supposed to pay for all the expenses of the court so that it's not on the taxpayer. And for the first time in many years, that actually occurred in 2015.
and that is a testament, as Bernie said, to the leadership we're getting out of Judge House, but also that we have an outstanding staff. The ladies that work over there really do a nice job, and we appreciate them doing that, and the structure that we put in place to make it more efficient. I mean, you got to have enough business to have an efficient operation, and now we have enough business to kind of keep things in the black. So
that would be an example of shared services working.
Yeah,
well, thanks.
very exciting.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we move on to introduced ordinances. We don't have any introduced ordinances at this time. Introduction of ordinances, we do not have any introduction of ordinances or ordinances to introduce, and therefore that means we have no public hearing on ordinances. The consent agenda, we have one resolution for the consent agenda. That is Resolution 2016-024, authorizing the submission of a strategic plan for the Somerset Hills Municipal Alliance and Services Commission for 2017. Can I get, do we have any comments or questions on such? If not, I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Second. And this is a roll call vote. Mr. Payne?
Aye.
Mr. Jacobs?
Aye.
Ms. Santucci? Aye. Mayor Parker?
Aye.
Thank you all.
Resolutions, we do have three more resolutions tonight, starting with 2016-021, designated the position of qualified purchasing agent to maintain the bid threshold of $40,000. And we lost our QPA a couple years ago. She had to do a lot of reorganization and shuffling to get us back with a QPA. And Trina Lindsay, I guess, has finished all her training.
You have 2 years to complete your classes. Once she started, she completed the classes in less than 1 year and took the test in December and did a wonderful, wonderful job. So she is ready to move forward. She was actually appointed as an acting QPA until she completed all her courses and took the test successfully, but now she has done that, so.
Well, terrific. Any other comments or questions? I'll take a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Correct that.
Okay, again, a roll call vote. Mr. Payne?
Aye.
Mr. Jacobs?
Aye.
Ms. Santucci? Aye. Mayor Parker?
Aye.
Thank you.
And thank Ms. Lindsay and congratulate her. Thank her for all her hard work.
Yes, I will.
This is a great step forward for her and for us.
Yeah, great job, Trina.
Resolution 2016-022, authorizing and approving the shared service agreement with the Borough of Peapack and Gladstone and the Borough of Bernardsville for the establishment and operation of a shared municipal court to begin March 1st, 2016. We've talked a little bit about it. Does anybody have any final questions or comments? If not, take a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll be the second that motion.
So again, roll call vote. Mr. Payne?
Aye.
Mr. Jacobs?
Aye.
Ms. Santucci? Aye. Mayor Parker?
Aye.
Thank you.
Jake, this is a big deal. It's a big deal. All right, Resolution 2016-023, authorizing dental insurance coverage throughout the Central Jersey Health Insurance Fund with Delta Dental. Any comments or questions?
If I could make a quick comment.
Sure.
We're not changing our plan. Central Jersey Health Insurance Fund, who we currently have our health insurance and prescription coverage through, approached us to keep our same plan, which is through Delta Dental, but they offered us a 5% savings if we just expanded our coverage to include the dental as well as the health and the prescription. So we can be on board by March 1st.
Judy, isn't this what we discussed down at the league with Brandon?
Yes, yes, we
And
did.
Diane, when we were there, that's when...
And because we do have a collective bargaining agreement with the PBA, we have to provide insurance equal to or better than what we currently have, and we have that. So we have a letter from the HIF that is what they're providing.
Another profitable meeting down at the league.
There you go. All right, I'll take a motion. If there's more other comments or questions.
I'll move that.
I'll second that.
Again, roll call vote. Mr. Payne?
Aye.
Mr. Jacobs?
Aye.
Ms. Santucci?
Aye.
Mayor Parker?
Aye.
Thank you.
Approval of bill list. I'll take a motion to approve the bill list pending the approval of individual invoices.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Mr. Payne?
Aye.
Mr. Jacobs?
Aye.
Ms. Santucci?
Aye.
Mayor Parker?
Okay, thanks. All right, discussion items. Does anybody have anything they wish to bring up for discussion item?
The only thing, Mayor, I was going to mention, I didn't do it in my committee reports. Remember I mentioned about the tax rebate program?
Yes.
I still have to make contact with FinCredit and get some of their literature, but I just happened to, as I mentioned it, talk to about, I would say, 8 different businesses in town, and they all expressed interest. I
Okay.
just walked in or I was buying something there, and I just happened to mention it to them. So we're halfway there with the 15 if they really are indeed interested. So, I'll hopefully by the next meeting I'll have more to report, and I'll...
Without naming them, what kind of character of the business? Looking retail?
Yeah. Pizza, deli, some of, that type of stuff, restaurants.
Okay. Very good.
Yep.
Well, keep us in the loop.
Yep.
Is there any other new business? If not, we will move to old business. Ken is not here, but Larry, have you heard anything from Sandy Putnam?
No.
Well, we have a meeting
No,
tomorrow
we'll
night,
talk
so
with Sandy
there's probably
tomorrow.
more issues on that. The Pony Farm, actually, there was a meeting on that today. Mr. Payne, do you want to?
Certainly. The mayor and I and Judy, along with John, I was approached, actually, I met the executive director of the Raritan Habitat for Humanity at a business networking meeting. And in speaking with her, I thought that maybe the Pony Farm would be a good location. They're looking to possibly move their headquarters. And it is a nonprofit in line with the previous nonprofits that we had in that location. So we were able to set up a meeting today and go over some of their needs. They were also interested in it. In fact, they'd already ridden by the former municipal building on Hillside Avenue. They brought one of their engineers with them. We didn't go into any of the properties or tour them. They kind of just did a drive-by themselves. And if they think that there's some viability there, they'll get back to us about actually doing a tour and getting inside the property. But I thought it was a worthwhile first meeting. And actually with the pony farm, where we have to make some decisions with that property and, in the near future.
The organization itself seems to be the Habitat for Humanity that covers Somerset and Hunterdon counties.
Mm-hmm.
They had three things that they were kind of interested in. They were looking for headquarters office space for themselves. I believe they say they rent some office space from one of the churches in Somerville. And so there's a significant cost to that, and they don't have everything that they need. They were also looking for some facility for the best way you would call it would be like a building supply thrift store. Let's say you have a contractor that pulled out some shelves that look really nice in a house, but maybe they're 1980s vintage, and rather than just throw them out, they would, for a thrift shop, and a resale items
kind
of either surplus items, but that they're looking for something that has, they probably need some, can handle some traffic, and something that has probably some, some big open space, like a big bay of a garage or a warehouse. If there's anything that we have in Bedminster right now that could handle that. Although the old town hall sounded like it could have been perfect for that, but they're about 10 years too late.
They also use it as a staging area. If people they're talking about somebody had a piano, somebody else had furniture, where they will, just be able to drop it off and donate it and be sold, or can use it to partially furnish some of their properties.
So I don't think any of us could think of anything in Bedminster that really fit that description. And then the thing was they were looking for either homes that could use renovation or a build from new for somebody that met the qualifications for a Habitat for Humanity family. And obviously, we have a plot of land on Hillside Avenue that's a potential. It was all just introductory, all just kind of what's possible. But yeah, we're hoping that we can see if there's a go forward on this. I did reiterate that this committee drew a line in the sand at the end of the year, and they just barely got there at the end of the year on that property, and we do have to make some decisions on it. And we reiterated that not a lot of interest from this body to be a very active landlord. Not much interest in putting a lot of money into that property and the care and feeding that a typical landlord has to do. But this is their business, rehabbing and maintaining properties, so there may be something there, more to follow.
They seem genuinely excited, I thought, and interested about it,
So we'll have to see. There's also some numbers that need to be run too. We have to determine, there's plan A, plan B on both of these properties, and some, anyway, more to come. Anything else? And we will go to our second round of public comment. Gents, I see. Oh, please come to the microphone. Identify yourself for the recording. And
good evening, everybody. Eric Murphy with the Far Hills Bedminster Fire Department. We completed our 2015 annual report, and as the 2015 chief, I just want to provide you with some of the highlights of the 2015 year. For 2015, the department donated a total of 8,458 man-hours to our community. As far as calls, we responded to 538 emergencies throughout the year, for a total of 2,252 man-hours. Of those calls, 19 were structure fires, 19 were motor vehicle fires, 122 motor vehicle accidents, 10 of them requiring extrication. We responded to 27 hazardous material spills, And we did want to thank the town for incorporating the ordinance to allow us to recoup our costs for those. So we were able to do that on some of those calls, which we appreciate. 137 of the calls we responded to, 25% were located on Interstate 287 and 78 in Bedminster and Far Hills. So we had a variety of other calls that made up the total of 538, and we are one of the busiest local fire departments in Somerset County. As training, we completed 1,899 man-hours of training. We complete 3 drills per month. 1 firematic, 1 vehicle extrication, and 1 apparatus and equipment. We attend a lot of large-scale mutual aid with our surrounding fire companies to make sure we're prepared to work together for larger emergencies. Classes and training at Morris and Somerset Fire Academies. For activities, we completed 4,307 man-hours, including school and fire education demonstrations, the Memorial Day Parade, Easter egg hunt in Far Hills, firehouse tours, Fall Fest, and other things. Membership is strong. We currently have 71 names on our roster, 31 who are active. We're constantly looking to improve our membership and increase our membership stats, which becomes more and more difficult as requirements increase. Right now, the minimum to become a firefighter is 190 hours at one of the local fire academies. We'd like to thank John Manson, DPW, for allowing our members to respond during the day. They are crucial in allowing us to maintain our response to emergencies throughout the day, so we appreciate that as well. We do provide a lot of assistance to other departments and emergency services. We provide extrication and ladder response throughout Bedminster, including the section of Pottersville. We respond with Robert Wood Johnson and the Far Hills Bedminster First Aid Squad on all calls on Interstate 287. Some other accomplishments and notable items for 2015. We submitted 3 assistance to firefighter grants, AFG grants. Was a request for the tanker replacement, 1 request for radio upgrades, and that was actually a regional grant that was submitted based on the Liberty Corner Fire Department, Basking Ridge Fire Department, Bernardsville, PPAC, Gladstone, and the First Aid Squad, as well as ourselves in Pottersville, for the upcoming radio requirement upgrades. We tried to get a grant to cover those costs. And also for our air pack replacements that are going to come due in 2019 due to for NFPA requirements. So unfortunately, of those 3, we weren't successful on them, but we did make attempts for them. We also submitted a grant for New Jersey American Water that comes out annually, which we won 2 years ago, for new nozzle on our rescue engine. Unfortunately, we weren't successful for that either this year. We complete overhaul and updates to our best practice guidelines, which is basically what we follow for all of our operations throughout the year, and upgrades to our extrication tools and equipment to make sure that we're able to keep up with the upgrades to all vehicles from the auto manufacturers. 2016, we actually just submitted 2 grants, 2 AFG grants, and we're requesting for the air pack replacement coming up in 2019, and we've also requested funds for the replacement of the engine that is due for capital replacement in 2017. So we'll see if that comes through for this year. This year we're looking for some support to replace our 1996 tanker, which will be at the end of its useful life pursuant to NFPA 1901, and also looking for support to replace our 2006 incident command vehicle, which is at the end of its first 2 useful life. We would like to thank the town for your ongoing support that allows us to do what we do, serve our community.
Is this instead of the report next week?
No.
With the budget?
Nope.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Nope, this was just in addition to it.
Oh, terrific.
So I'd like to
Well, thank you.
provide each of you with a copy of our report.
Excellent. Love to see that.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
excellent.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Keep warm out there.
Eric, just a quick question. That New Jersey American Water grant, is that an annual ongoing grant?
It has been for about the last 5 years, yeah. So we apply for it every
You
year.
may want to try that one again, since New Jersey American Water now owns EDC.
We apply every year,
Well, you might want to,
so we will
if they
certainly
need,
do it
maybe
again.
they need some reminder about that. That might help.
No problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
And do you guys, oh, another quick question. Do you guys work with the Minebrook water rescue folk?
On occasion, we do, yeah.
What, are they, is that just a private?
They're a private
What's the
organization,
characteristic
yeah.
of that organization?
They're a private organization, but they are a member of the mutual aid with Somerset County, so they will respond to mutual aid calls within county.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Any other member of the public wish to come up and comment? All right, we will move on to Township Committee comments. Mr. Payne?
Nothing further. We'll let you get back to some chicken soup in there.
Mr. Jacobs?
Nothing further, Mayor.
Ms. Santucci?
Nothing further. Feel better.
No, I will just then encourage Ms. Sullivan to sterilize this microphone after we're done, and I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.